Hi, my name is Al Green. Not that one, but the struggling guy who was in the music industry for years trying to sell talent and songs to agents. The agents befriended me and taught me techniques that I want to pass on to you through my program, which is called You Can Talk, You Can Sell. Anyone who has ever taken this program has excelled in selling and either risen to the top of their company, their team, or the top of their field. It's called You Can Talk, You Can Sell, and you can get it right here.
Have you chosen your career path of sales, and yet you're having trouble? You're getting started in a rough way, or you're maintaining your sales, or you're a veteran who for some reason has slowed down and you want to build things back up again. The six-figure selling system is a system of sales techniques, not to necessarily be memorized, but to be adjusted to you, the person that you are, the way that you want to sell. And it's not a bunch of rules. It's not anything based on anything else but experience. Basically what it is this: you've chosen the path of sales like I did for many, many years. I chose this is going to be how I make my living. And even trying a lot of different jobs, going from one company to another company, trying different industries, trying different ways of selling, going to seminars to learn techniques, studying with books and, back in the day, tapes and CDs in the car from some of the great people, some of the great names, whether it's a Tony Robbins or Jack Campbell or Robert Kiyosaki. You learn all the ways of success, and the thing about selling is this: you can always find work. There is always work for you. And if you're talented and you want to learn how to always be chosen and get to be the person who people go to, then by all means, you have to come to the seminar, the workshop of the six-figure selling system with me, and I will explain to you over time. And as a bonus, I will even provide one-on-one consultation. But you got to clue into this. Selling is a career that is considered to be one of the highest paying, most common careers. A little bit less than 5% of the population of the world are involved in some form of salesmanship. And whether you're a man or a woman, or you're young or old, I'll give you an example. At my age, I could go out today and find a job. It's that easy. Because every company that exists needs their products or services to be sold. And usually a representative who can get there and bring customers in is what they want. If you know how to hit the ground running, great. If you're doing well already, that's fantastic. But even the best salespeople that I know that are making well over $800,000 in a month use coaches. Everybody needs a little bit of coaching. I have my coaches still, and the coaches that I have, they have their coaches. The whole purpose is to learn more, because you never, ever stop learning. So why not take it a step further and get into some techniques that I have, which are very out of the scope of regular sales training. That's why they work. They're not expected. They're things that are considered unorthodox and out of the focus of your standard formula sales training. This is not just another boring class. What this is focusing on you, the person that wants to increase your sales and become a sales rock star. You want to become somebody who has taken the bull by the horns, taken the whole sales career by the reins, and driven it into higher numbers. The rewards are always there, and everyone who has ever taken this training has increased their sales. And even back when I was a salesman and I was hired in to train others, I still had to sell myself. And a lot of times the people that I trained ended up selling more than I did. That's interesting. Now, how come that was? Well, they tried a little bit harder, because there's funny things about salespeople. It's the hardest and yet the easiest job there is, because if you think about it, you're paid to talk for a living. And what's wrong with that? That's absolutely a wonderful thing. But there's always paperwork, and most companies want you to do paperwork. They want you to go to meetings, and they want you to go to trainings. One of the things that's interesting about trainings is a lot of times I've been with companies where the trainings really don't focus on the real life situation. They give you a scenario and they say, okay, role play this, or they tell you this is a technique to use. All the techniques that I cover are covered in a lot of basic sales training, but I don't walk you through anything like a canned pitch, because a canned pitch is usually not spoken by somebody that can pull it off as being natural. The whole idea is to be yourself, be natural. Don't be very stoic and mechanical. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is to be yourself. And when you take the six-figure sales course, it's called the six-figure selling system, you will be able to master your way of selling. And that's the whole idea. Master your way of selling, not mine, but yours. I sell differently than you. Every sale is different. Every person who sells is different. Every industry is different. Every product is different. Every service is different. And it doesn't matter if you're selling to homeowners or you're selling business to business. It doesn't matter if you're selling to attorneys or you're selling to a shop like that sells hardware, for example. Your ability to increase sales is based on things that you do. And there isn't one company that would ever fire a person that's the top salesperson. And so as a result, by being the top salesperson, you're afforded many things that most of the people that are your peers are not afforded. And I'm talking about things like winning vacations, but at the same time, doing things before the group that you might not have been allowed to do. But if you have a certain success, then when you talk, people want to hear you. They want to know, how come you're selling that product and I can't do it? And I know that because I had trouble selling one product, and my epiphany came when I got to the point to where I was going to get fired because I couldn't sell this one product. Of course, this is many years ago. And what happened was, I really, honestly didn't care, because I figured I'm going to get fired anyway. So I kind of made up my own way of selling. And ironically, all my sales came in and I rescued that job. I was this close from getting fired, okay? And yes, I saved the job and then was asked to be a trainer, because it actually works. And if you don't believe me, then just try it yourself. See how far you get. And if you're having trouble, just remember, all of us struggled at one point. I didn't start off like super salesman. It took me years to learn that. But I'm going to encapsulate that, and I want to teach it to you so that you don't have to spend the years, that you can get on this immediately and not have to worry about what you're going to do tomorrow or the next day or next month. There are people, top salespeople, that work for the company that I worked for. When the company would give us a 2-week vacation, how come there were certain people that would take a 6-week vacation? Well, at the time that I noticed this, I also started looking at their numbers, and their numbers were 5 times more than mine were. And the top people on my team were not hitting those numbers that these other people were. So when you're a top salesperson, you say, look, I need 6 weeks because I want to go to Europe and I want to go to all these different countries or whatever it is. It's easier to get because you're a top salesperson, and they know that when you come back, you're going to be hitting the ground running again. So it's little things like that that will happen to you. You're going to learn things that you have not found anywhere else. Stepping outside the box. What do other sales training courses teach you to do to step outside the box? I guarantee you they're not the mistakes that most people tell you that you're making. Stepping outside the box is doing things in a way that is not normally trained and never handled in a sales course. Usually in a sales course, they take you through steps, but when you propose, well, what if this happens or what if that happens, you usually do not have a pat answer for everything. That's one of the things that we're going to cover. So I look forward to see you in my next lesson.